Welcome to our live watch along for Melbourne Victory, Adelaide United. We are up and running. Quarter of an hour into this game, 0-0 at this stage. Adelaide, really bright start. Melbourne Victory starting to find their way back into their game. Nikos Virgos almost with an opportunity there for Melbourne Victory ahead of that. Was a near miss in the end, but Adelaide United, really impressive start to this game. Hey, the Reds, who are facing an A-League team for the second consecutive round in the Australia Cup. They were good last time around against Western Sydney Wanderers, the way they defeated them 2-1 in the end. That game did go to extra time. Melbourne Victory. This is the first A-League opposition they are facing in the Australia Cup. That's right. It's on 10 play for Christian. If you want to watch this game, it is on 10 play, which has been awesome. That have all our Australia Cup games on 10 play, which means it's all free to watch if you're in Australia, which is great. Two teams who have won the Australia Cup in the past. Melbourne Victory did it just a couple of years ago. 2021. They won it in the final against Central Coast Mariners. Adelaide United, 3-time Cup winners. They are well and truly the Cup specialists, the Reds. They'd love to get to another final here tonight and defeat their rivals, Melbourne Victory, on the way as well. Thanks for jumping back into A-League Edits. We had a bit of technical difficulties in our previous stream. We've jumped into a new one here, and hopefully it's smooth sailing from here on out. Troy asks, who is your young player of the year? Mine is potentially Caputo. We'll come back to that because here comes Austin Ayubi for the Reds. Down the left, the cut back is well blocked by Brendan Hamill. It's another corner coming up for the Reds, who have made a very bright start to this game. Caputo could absolutely be in the running for young player of the year. He's set for a huge season. I mean, no Jamie McLaren at Melbourne City this season. It's a big loss for City, but it's a chance for a young striker like Max Caputo to step up and be that leading goal scorer for Melbourne City. Short corner here for the Reds. Zach Clough swings it in towards Jack Duncan, who claims it. A-League Edits with the question here. Graham Arnold left the Socceroos. Since you are a Spurs fan, Lockie, do you think Big Ange would be a good alternative, or would you want someone else? Absolutely. It won't happen. It obviously won't happen. He's at Tottenham, and I mean, hopefully he's at Tottenham for a long time. Big Ange, obviously, great to see an Aussie coaching a Premier League team. So in a dream world, I think that'd be awesome, especially seeing where Ange has gone, considering that, you know, from when he was coaching the Socceroos a few years back now, obviously he led Australia to that Asian Cup win in 2015. Has had a fantastic career that has saw him win trophies pretty much everywhere he's gone. Now at Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great. That's right, Brady. 18 minutes in, Melbourne Victory 0, Adelaide United 0. It's the Reds who have been very good so far. Melbourne Victory with a couple of opportunities on the counter-attack. Patrick Esnorber's side yet to really control things in this game. The way Adelaide have been pressing high up the pitch has been really impressive. Victory now with an opportunity to push forward. Tarnley asks, who is your personal choice to coach the Socceroos? There's no one really that stands out as an obvious choice. I wouldn't mind Tony Popovic. I think he's a good coach, and I'd be very curious to see what he'd do with the Socceroos. Hervé Renard is another guy whose name has popped up a lot. I think that would be interesting. He was obviously coaching France's women's national team at the Women's World Cup last year. He was in charge of Saudi Arabia, the men's team in the previous World Cup as well. So for me, I feel like Tony Popovic is probably the most straightforward option right now at this time. Probably maybe the most likely option as well at this stage. G'day, Sam. Good to see you here. Says, hey, Lockie, are you thinking or are you going to get FC25 and possibly do some career modes? Absolutely. I was playing it earlier today and did a video going through all the A-League teams' ratings and all that stuff, which will be out tomorrow. As Adelaide swinging another free kick, which is cleared away by Victory. Yes, we'll be doing a video out tomorrow going through the A-League teams in FC25. But if you guys are, I'd love to hear from you guys. If you guys are keen to see some career mode stuff here on the channel, we've done some career mode videos over the years, which has been really, really fun. It's obviously not the main focus of the channel, but if it's something that you guys would be keen to see, like playing A-League teams and career mode and stuff like that, I think it'd be something fun to explore. So, yeah, if there's enough demand for it, that's for sure. Fortnite, good to see you here as well. Lucky, my man, I've been waiting all week for Adelaide to play. Well, the Reds. Well, you must be happy with how they're looking so far. The Reds have been very bright in the opening 20 minutes of this game. 0-0. But Melbourne Victory, well, they're going to try and find a way to get some more control of this game because the Reds are coming. Had a handful of set pieces already in the opening 20 minutes. Obviously, the concern for the Reds was the fact that they're missing so many key personnel in their lineup. A lot of players out, either due to injury or international duty. Some of the younger guys away with the young Socceroos. There's a makeshift centre-back partnership for Adelaide tonight. Yavi Lopez and Isaias. Yavi Lopez more of a right back. Isaias more of a midfielder as well. If Adelaide win, who gets the final? Well, I'll tell you what. If Adelaide win tomorrow, I mean, we're going to be doing a watch along for tomorrow's game as well. Macarthur at Sea taking on the South Melbourne. I do like Macarthur in that semi-final game. I think they will get the win in the end. I think it will be close. And then a final potentially. I mean, if Adelaide get through, an Adelaide Macarthur final, that's pretty even, man. I think if Melbourne Victory get through the final, I think they'll be huge favourites, regardless of who they come up against. So, if Adelaide get through, I think there's a huge chance they win it, actually. Although, I mean, South Melbourne, they have proved a tricky team to beat. But I don't know if they'll be able to get past Adelaide United. They've got too many quality players, the Reds. Very, very excited for tomorrow's semi-final. South Melbourne, big test against Macarthur SC. Don't underrate the Bulls this season, man. They've looked good in the Australia Cup so far. Haley get us with a question here in the chat. Who do you think is the most underrated player in the A-League right now? Tricky one to answer as well, because obviously we've got a whole bunch of new players who have signed. If I had to go for start off with my Mariners, I think Storm Roo's pretty underrated. I think he's probably the best right back in the league. We love Storm Roo at Central Coast Mariners, and he's been fantastic, hasn't he? For the last few years, helping Mariners win a couple of championships. Marcus says, could the FA get Klopp or Graham Potter? Imagine that, like Jurgen Klopp, Socceroos coach. Hey, we'd love it. We'd love that. Jurgen Klopp as Socceroos coach. Can you imagine him in charge of the Socceroos? That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. Sam says, as a Jets fan, sucks knowing that this could have been us in the semi-finals. Dude, I mean, yeah, that round of 16 match, Jets really should have won that. Jets, that first, if you remember, they were up 2-0 at half-time, hey? And they really should have come away with the win. But they collapsed a bit in that second half, unfortunately, for Newcastle. So, yeah, man, especially for Jets who have been starved of success over the years. Haven't made the finals since 2018 when they made it to the grand final, of course, losing out to Melbourne Victory. Brendan Hamill, just with a bit of a knock here. Looks like he's all good to continue. Who hosts the final if Adelaide win? I believe that's decided by Football Australia. I don't think that's set in stone right now. So it depends on who goes through. As far as I'm aware, it does depend on who goes through. "25 minutes into this Australia Cup semi-final, Melbourne Victory 0, Adelaide United 0. Bit of a stop-start game at the moment. That's a great through ball, though, from the back. Jay Barnett now. Zach Clough. Again, interesting to see Ryan White starting up top tonight for the Reds. No Luka Jovanovic, no Archie Goodwin. Big losses for the Reds up top. So it's another youngster in Ryan White getting the opportunity. Stefan Mork's playing a pretty advanced role as well. Looks like Stefan Mork, in fact, is playing maybe a bit more of an advanced role. Zinedine Machash starting tonight in that attacking midfield role for Victory. Hasn't been able to get himself into the game just yet. Trying to get on the ball now. That's a nice flick for Valupale. Zinedine Machash was so good in his first season in the A-League, wasn't he? He was fantastic. Cross comes in for Victory. Misses everyone. But Traore will regather. Valadon. Geordie Valadon still. That crossfield pass. Doesn't find a teammate. A-League, it's from a couple of moments ago. The A-League has a variety of different players from different nations playing in it. But what nation do you think has produced the best A-League players? Yeah, there's been fantastic Brazilian players playing in the A-League over the years. There's been some fantastic Spanish players, Argentine players. Marcos Flores, Marcelo Corusca. I mean, it's probably easy to say Australian. There's obviously been some incredible Aussie players who have come through the A-League and gone on to achieve big things overseas. But yeah, Brazil's definitely a shout, hey. Choice, a snack of choice. What's everyone eating? I always ask this question. I don't know where this started. I remember one stream, I was like eating something on stream or something like that. In a watch-along, we had a snack. Oh, it's because I usually I'm usually got like a little bit of chocolate or something. So I always ask you guys, like, what's your snack of choice for tonight, or beverage of choice? I'll tell you what I've got. Usually I'm just drinking water because I'm boring. Water's not boring though. It's good to stay hydrated. I'm drinking Waterfords. I'm not sponsored in any way. Waterfords, which is like a flavored mineral water. Tahitian lime flavor of Waterfords. Check it out. It actually tastes so good. Not sponsored in any way. It's refreshing. Coastwatch Diner, that's right. Coastwatch Diner. Here come the Reds. Zach Clough's in behind. Well, what was that? What was that from Zach Clough? He had the opportunity. He was in the best position. Was that a shot? Oh, dude. I mean, that did not look like a shot. That did not look like a shot at all. He was trying to be too clever there. He was trying to go for like a sneaky pass across the face of goal, but no one was there, dude. No one was there. And here come Victory on the counterattack. Here come Victory. All right. Adelaide have to do some defending now. Traore hits. Oh, good save. It's probably Victory's best chance of the game, half an hour in. Dama Traore up from left back. Well saved in the end. Victory still on the front foot here. Arzani goes down. Gets the free kick. Stephen Moore committing the foul. Okay. The game is not on Paramount Plus, as far as I'm aware. It's just on 10 Play. All the Australia Cup games just on 10 Play. Free kick for Melbourne Victory coming up. Marcus asks, predictions for Douglas Costa on FC25? I predict he gets 75. Well, one match I think was 71? I think Douglas Costa, 75, maybe 74. Yeah, mid-70s maybe. Arzani's delivery. Oh, what a chance, Guerrier. Great save, Delianov again. The Adelaide goalkeeper with a couple fantastic stops. And Jason Guerrier, scorer in the last A-League Grand Final, header on target, right at James Delianov, who made a great reflex save to tip it over the top. Oh, another chance for Guerrier. He's hit the post and Hamill. Victory hit the woodwork twice in 2 seconds. And Adelaide survive. Guerrier off the post with a header. Another header from Guerrier. And Hamill did well to get his boot to it, hitting the crossbar. Great chance for Melbourne Victory. Sam, you got to go SpongeBob to play for Mariners. Because he's yellow, of course. Of course. Alligator says, how important do you think it is for A-League teams to perform well in Asian Champions League? Oh, obviously, hugely important. If we perform well, it boosts our chances of getting more teams picked for Asian Champions League in the future. Hopefully, we can, go back to having 2 teams in the Asian Champions League elite, and maybe just the one in Asian Champions League 2. We want more teams involved in these competitions, man. It's huge, absolutely huge. Half an hour has ticked by in this Australia Cup semi-final. Melbourne Victory 0. Adelaide United 0. The Victory have been so deadly in front of goal through this cup run. 4 goals in each of their previous games. Big 4-0 win in the quarterfinal against Moreton City Excelsior in Queensland. Stephen Moore. Great pass forward into the path of Ayubi. Austin Ayubi. Short for Alligator. Cuts back for Mork. And that's a great reflex save. Coming back down. Still there. Mork gets a boot to it. Swings it across. Paris with their header straight into Duncan's hands. Great little passage of play there for the Reds. Hey, the way they got forward with pace. They're doing a really good job, Adelaide United, of finding these pockets of space in midfield, and all of a sudden they're away. Calvert has clearly figured something out here, because it's happened on numerous occasions throughout this first half where Stephen Mork or Zach Clough, these players, are getting in sort of the little half spaces and breaking forward. Fortnite says, would have been so cool to see Falami play tonight. Yeah, obviously big story from the past week. Ben Falami, one of the late transfers in the A-League from Victory to Adelaide, not playing tonight. But a decent signing for the Reds. And Patrick Osnorbo said it in his press conference yesterday. Just, obviously wasn't going to get game time at Victory. He's even last season, he wasn't a starting player under Tony Popovich. And Adelaide, they probably needed, another wide play. And Ben Falami will, strengthen the Reds in attack. Versatile player as well. Can play anywhere across that front line. Alligator asks, would you prefer to have younger talent in the A-League? And once they leave, enter their prime, or have older talent that are past their prime and soon to retire? Probably younger talent, to be honest. Once they leave, enter their prime. Yeah, probably younger talent, honestly. And I feel like it's sort of shifted that way a little bit over the last few years. Well, I guess over the entire existence of the A-League, like early on, there were a lot of like older players here and players coming over who were sort of towards the end of their careers, and that is still happening a little bit. Obviously, one Mats is an example of that, but I feel like, especially during the pandemic, maybe A-League teams weren't able to recruit, all these international players. We'll make these big signings. There was a lot of opportunity for young players, and I feel like I feel like we have a pretty good balance now in the A League in terms of having like young guys and also the experienced, like high quality players as well. Hey, like I feel like the balance is pretty good at the moment. I don't know. What do you guys think? Sam asks if you had to sign a player in their prime, for example, prime Zinedine, Zinedine Zidane, prime Thierry Henry, who would you pick? I mean, like I'm a huge Luka Modric fan from obviously being a Tottenham fan. He was sort of like one of my favorite players when I was younger, watching him at Tottenham. So prime Luka Modric, who was has his prime. I mean, you could probably debate in terms of when his prime was. He's been in his prime for a long time. So that's just like a personal favorite for me. This is concerning for Melbourne Victory. We've still got 10 minutes before half time. But Brendan Hamill's coming off here. Brendan Hamill is coming off, and Josh Rawlins is going to come on to replace him in defense. He went down earlier on the half with some sort of what appeared to be some sort of leg injury, maybe like a knee or something. And now Josh Rawlins is on to replace him. So, bit of a concern for Brendan Hamill. You do not want to lose a player. We are less than a month now out to the kickoff of the A-League season. The last thing they want is a long-term injury to a key defender. And Brendan Hamill is a key defender. Oh, I just forgot we didn't have our lamps on. That would help. All right. Troy says, definitely agree. Good balance considering the financial situation in the A-League. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Hey, I think A-League clubs are doing a decent job at the moment. Nil. Less than 10 minutes to go till the break. Who will make the breakthrough? Melbourne Victory with a couple great opportunities about 5 minutes ago from those corners. Jason Guerrier with a couple headers that tested James Delianov in the Adelaide goals. Victory on the attack here again from this throw-in a good position. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this live stream tonight, man. If you want to support, feel free to hit the like button. Always great to see you guys joining in for these live watch-alongs. We've been doing a bunch throughout this Australia Cup this year. We were live for Adelaide's last game in the Cup, the quarterfinal match between Adelaide and Wanderers. Game went to extra time in the end. Will we be destined for more extra time football in this one? Possibly. There is a strong chance of it, you feel like, hey. You sense there could be a pretty long narrative in this game as Victory knocking the ball around in promising areas, but Adelaide staying pretty well organised. Flick from Arzani, doesn't find Valupalate, it's out of play. Out of play. A-League Edits asks, adding to the young players, which young player in the A-League do you think has the brightest future ahead of them? Ooh, it's a big question. Which A-League player has the brightest future ahead of them? Ooh, it's a big question. There's probably heaps. I mean, as a Mariners fan, I've got huge expectations for Miguel DiPizio, 18 years of age. Should be a starting player for the Mariners this season. Huge season ahead for Miguel DiPizio. Who else, man? There's probably a bunch that I'm not even thinking of. Here come the Reds. Paredes, good shot. Great save. Came in from range, but Jack Duncan down well to his right to block it. What about you guys? Which young player in the A do you think has the brightest future ahead of them? So it is an interesting question. I mean, I've been really impressed with Abdul Faisal at Perth Glory in this Australia Cup in the few games they played. Glory. He scored a few goals. Austin Ayubi with an effort that sails well wide of the goal. I mean, Hayden Matthews, centre back from Sydney FC, very young, heaps of potential. There was rumours. I remember there was rumours a few weeks ago of him being linked to a move overseas as well. Luka Jovanovic, yep. Fortnite mentions Luka Jovanovic as well. Adelaide striker, not playing tonight, but another one of these young guys who it looks like he's going to be Adelaide's starting striker this season. So big year ahead potentially for Luka Jovanovic. That's right. Plenty of seagulls on the pitch, as there are always used at Amy Park in Melbourne. Not long till halftime. We will be playing Griddle at halftime, of course, as we always do, testing the A-League knowledge. We've been struggling with Griddle, man. We've been struggling the last few weeks as well. We've had some tricky questions come up. Some tricky categories. Again, more space for Stefan Mork. Ayubi on the left. Back for Kitto. Who goes back for Isaias. The Reds, I think they'll be pretty happy with how things are proceeding in this game so far. They've looked good. That's a free kick for them here as well in a good position. Roderick Miranda's not happy about the call. Another season at Melbourne Victory for Roderick Miranda. Portuguese centre-back, captain of the club now, formerly of Wolverhampton Wanderers, current Premier League side. Especially with the departure of Damien De Silva. Roderick Miranda is going to be key for Melbourne Victory this season, you sense. So, Adelaide, late on in the half, free kick opportunity in a good position. Zach Clough usually sends in a good delivery. Can they get ahead to it? Clough swings it. Ooh, very deep. Mork won't get to that. Trying to shepherd it into his control. Victory. Well, that's good control there from Ryan White, but there was a foul called. And Melbourne Victory relieve the pressure. 0-0. Good opportunities for a couple of goals, but for both sides as well, but nothing yet. No breakthrough at this point in the contest. We're going to be live tomorrow as well for the next semi-final, the other semi-final. South Melbourne, Macarthur FC, kickoff at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Australia Cup final is scheduled for Saturday, the 5th of October. We'll definitely be doing a watch-along for that one as well. Who will it be? Melbourne Victory, Adelaide United, playing either South Melbourne or Macarthur FC. Interesting as well. I mean, you got Macarthur FC, another team who won the Australia Cup just 2 years ago. Adelaide, the Cup specialists. Melbourne Victory won it in 2021. South Melbourne, this is the furthest they've gone in the Cup. Can they be just the second ever team to make it to the Australia Cup final? A couple minutes remaining, and Melbourne Victory pretty happy to let Adelaide have the ball across the back line and knocking it around. Ayubi trying to utilize his pace here. Oh, he's kept that in. He's still going here. Guerrier trying to get back in defense. Well done, Jason Guerrier, in the end, after being beaten initially. That's a foul on Rawlins by Mork. Melbourne Victory kick off their A-League campaign in just under a month's time against Central Coast Mariners. Rematch of last year's grand final. Can Melbourne Victory get their revenge in that game? Shouldn't have much injury time here. We did have a short stoppage due to the injury to Brendan Hamill. Adelaide United, their first game in the A-League men's competition comes in round 2, taking on Central Coast Mariners as well. At home. Adelaide United have the first bye this A-League season. They won't be featuring in round 1. Ayubi. Reds, patient build-up play. 2 minutes added on. Great chance for the Reds. More hits. Bouncing around. Nervy moments for Victory. Struggling to get this clear. Bodies in the road. Finally, they do get it out of there. Fortnite says, sucks that Adelaide have a bye first round. I can't take the weight anymore. Yeah, man, that would be painful. A-League is finally back and your team isn't playing round 1. But it's obviously the way things, and hopefully we do have another A-League expansion team join next season. Hopefully, fingers crossed it happens, which would remove the buys, bring it back to an even number of teams. Hey, again, it asks if you could build an A-League dream team, which players would you choose for a 5-a-side team without goalkeepers? So don't have to worry about goalies. Ooh, Brian Kaltak at the back. Let's see. I mean, like, I'm really tempted just to pick a bunch of Mariners players. Like, I want to say Brian Kaltak. I'll pick a fullback. So I'll go Brian Kaltak and tell you what, I'll go Jason Guerrier. Maybe just because he's playing tonight. I'll go Brian Kaltak and Jason Guerrier at the back, 2 speedy defenders. I would go 2 midfielders. I'll go Anas Waheem. He was very good for Sydney the other night. And 1 Mata. And then you probably just go Douglas Costa up top, hey? Yeah, we'll do that. Got to get both 1 Mata and Douglas Costa in there, of course. All right, second half. Just about to wrap up here. The end of injury time. 0-0 between Melbourne Victory and Adelaide United. Great chances for both teams. Entertaining first half. The Reds probably look like the better team at this stage, to be honest. I've been really impressed with the way that Adelaide have, especially at the start of the game, really controlled things, dictated the play, and pressed. Played with great intensity. But it's all scoreless at the break. Marcus for his 5-side team says Kaltak, Miranda, Mata, Costa, Germain. Yeah. Miranda as well. Another good option as a defender. Valerie Germain, one of the top strikers in the competition as well. That's for sure. That's a fun question. A-League dream team, 5-a-side team. That 5-a-side team would tear it up. That's for sure. Hey, should we play some Griddle, everyone? For those that don't know, Griddle is an A-League player guessing game. It's made by the folks at ultimatealeague.com. You can play at griddlegame.com. We're going to pull it up in just a moment here. And it's turned into a bit of our halftime entertainment, if you like. But a halftime entertainment here. So we are going to try our luck on today's Griddle. Okay. 4 clubs involved today. Victory, Brisbane, Wellington Wanderers. We're looking for players who have not played a single finals game. We're also looking for players who have 30-plus wins. Okay. Starting off straight off the bat, I'm feeling confident with this one. I'm feeling confident with this Griddle. I think we can do this. Where do we start? Where do we start with this one? Tell you what. Let's move the mic over this side. Finals games. Now that's interesting. So 0 finals games, but 30-plus wins. I mean, like, when it comes to 0 finals games, not to like wreck on my rival team here, but Newcastle Jets haven't played many finals games, especially in recent years. Is it like a player for? Actually, I'll tell you what. Maybe someone like Jack Duncan. Jack Duncan Now, he wouldn't have been the goalkeeper for Newcastle Jets when they made it to the grand final 2018, I don't think. I don't think he was part of that finals campaign. He did play a lot of games for Newcastle. Was he there in 18? I don't think so. I can't remember exactly who it was, though. It may have been Jack Duncan. So Jack Duncan is an interesting suggestion. And I don't know if I'm going to think of many others. So let's just go for it. I'm feeling confident. Oh, he's played the one. He's got the 33 wins as well. He's played one finals game. That is close. Jack Duncan. Okay, we've missed on the opening one, but I think we should be okay with the rest. 0 final games for Melbourne Victory. Well, that should be pretty straightforward. We get to think of like players who had played for Victory maybe in a season where they struggled. A few years ago, they finished bottom of the ladder. And who was a player who would have played for them then? What's his name? Baena? Raul Baena, is that right? What? Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. Hasn't played a final game for Western Sydney Wanderers. Let's just pick a player who played for them last year. They weren't in finals last year. So who's a player who just played for them? I mean, you can, dude. This is embarrassing that I'm getting these wrong already. Wanderers. Again. What was the name of the goalkeeper? You could pick anyone here. I'm completely that young goalkeeper who played one game. Harper. Tiger Harper. There you go. Okay. There we go. Finally, we're on the board in Griddle today. Wellington Phoenix, Melbourne Victory. Actually, let's do the 30 wins. 30 wins for Brisbane Roar. That's definitely easier. We can go Matt Mackay there. We do often go for Matt Mackay in our griddles. 30 plus wins for Wellington Phoenix. We'll go Andrew Durante there. Again, pretty straightforward answers. And then it should be straightforward from here as well. Brisbane Roar, Melbourne Victory. Let's go for Jai Ingham. Brisbane Roar, Western Sydney Wanderers. There's probably heaps of players who played for those two clubs. Brisbane Roar and West Sydney Wanderers. Yes, there has been. There's been heaps. For some reason, no one's coming to mind. No one's coming to mind. We'll come back to that one. Wellington and Western Sydney Wanderers, a player who has played for both of those teams. Let's go Tom Ahmed. Probably not many players there who have played for both Wellington and Wanderers. I don't think there'd be many. Got another one this season coming up. Borzar Kraev. Melbourne Victory, Wellington Phoenix, a player who has played for both of those teams. We can go for Scott Galloway. And then to make it 7 out of 9 for Griddle tonight. Brisbane Roar, Western Sydney Wanderers. Scott McDonald. We can go Scott McDonald here for that final one. Let's see who we missed for these ones we got wrong. Oh, gee, there weren't many. Oh, see, that's tricky. Thurgate. Yeah, Angus Thurgate, obviously a more recent one. That's one we could have gone for. Hey, 30 plus wins, hasn't played a finals game. Angus Thurgate, probably one of the better midfielders in recent A-League history to have not played a finals game. Hey. Hello, Zach in the chat. Zach says, how's the game been so far? I couldn't watch the first half. Entertaining game. Pretty even overall. Great chances for both teams. But I'm really impressed with Adelaide. They started really brightly. Pressing really high. Melbourne Victory was struggling to play out from the back at times, but Melbourne Victory have hit the woodwork a couple of times already in this half as well. So, yeah. Fortnite says, did you see that Ryan Brownlee is heading to the UK, Lockie? What are your thoughts on underdeveloped players leaving the league way too early, then coming back in a couple of years? I mean, it's just a way of things. I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. If they want to go over and have a go at an overseas club, obviously that's a huge opportunity for any young player in Australia. And if it doesn't work out, it's just the way it is. And if there's an opportunity for them to come back to the A-League, then that's great. I don't see anything wrong in that, to be honest. I think that's okay, honestly. Who else did we miss for this next one as well? The other one we got wrong. Victory players. Oh, so many too. Why did I say Bayana, dude? I don't know why. I thought he might have just featured in that season where Victory struggled. Oh, there's so many players here. 97 options that I missed. So many players who haven't played a final for Victory. Anyway, they're showing the stats, the halftime stats for this game. 7 shots for Victory, 9 for Adelaide. Adelaide bossing possession, 64%. So it's the Reds who are in control so far. And looking good. And yeah, just as well from Fortnite, who mentioned Ryan Brownlee there. I believe that came from Nicholas Lennon online. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about Nicholas Lennon, and he's been doing some awesome stuff on reporting some A-League transfers, which has been awesome. John on the grill tonight says that middle one is very tricky. I guess Daniel Margush. He had 0 finals games and 18 wins. That's a solid guess. Got an 8 out of 9. Very good indeed. Yeah, I mean, considering there's 5 options there. Bacchus, Harnwell, Thurgate, Brocky, Taylor Regan, Jeremy Brocky. That's surprising that Jeremy Brocky never played a final. He's played for a few A-League teams over the years, isn't he, Jeremy Brocky? We always love jumping on the grill. Love that Ultimate A-League put this one together. We need more things like this, like A-League related games, little puzzle things like this that we can play for fans. Next Australia Cup semi-final coming up tomorrow night, South Melbourne, MacArthur FC. We're going to be doing a live watch-along for that one as well. So make sure to join us tomorrow evening. 6 p.m. is the kickoff time, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Second half, just around the corner. We've had 1 substitution already in this game. That was due to an injury for Brendan Hamill. Hopefully for Victory fans, it's nothing too serious. As it looks like it's absolutely bucketing at Amy Park. Is that rain? I think they're showing the rain. They're showing the amount of rain that's coming down. It looks like it's raining pretty heavily in Melbourne at the moment. Amy Park, famous stadium in this A-League competition in the Australia Cup as well. There's been a couple of Australia Cup finals at this ground. Amy Park will be hosting the Melbourne Derby Round 2 this season. Fortnite says, I'm nervous. I hate playing Victory. Can't stand the pain when we lose to rivals. Yep, it's one of the great rivalries in the A-League, isn't it? Melbourne Victory, Adelaide United. It's interesting too as well. Like I was doing the research for this game, and Adelaide only have 1 win against Melbourne Victory in their last 10 meetings. 1. Which is pretty crazy. They've met 3 times as well previously in the Australia Cup. I think it was 2 wins for Victory, 1 for Adelaide. So this is now their 4th meeting in this competition. Marcus says, Marcelo's still with no club. I know that he's in Florida, though. That's random. Florida. Yeah, Marcelo. It's a shame that he didn't stick around for another year at Wanderers. He was very good for them last year. Captain of the team last season as well. Marcelo, the Brazilian centre-back. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure any A-League team would have loved to have had Marcelo at their club. He was fantastic the couple of years that he was at Wanderers. I mean, Adelaide especially, who were probably, desperately need another centre-back. We do know Adelaide did pick up Jordan Elsey late on in the transfer window. He'd been training with the club for a couple of months and finally signed. Jordan Elsey back with the Reds. Alligators asks, who do you want to see in the Australia Cup final? And if your team makes it, will you go to the final? Well, unfortunately, Mariners are out, which is obviously very disappointing. The this may be too much to ask, but when do you think you'll do our next match day vlog? Definitely keen to bring in some match day vlogs for this season. I'm sure we'll have some out throughout the A-League season, especially for some of our Mariners away days. Always love getting to the away days for Mariners, especially the games in Sydney and in Newcastle as well. F3 derbies. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Who do I want to see in the Australia Cup final? I think Melbourne Victory. I would like to see Melbourne Victory in the final. I think they deserve it. They've been very good in this cup run. They do have to step up a little bit in the second half if they do want to get through the final. They got to make sure they try and take control of this game a little bit more. And I mean, South Melbourne. I think we would all, and this was talked about way back when the round of 16 draw happened, right? I think you guys remember. The round of 16 draw happened, and we all saw that there was a decent path for South Melbourne to get through, and that they're in the semis. And Melbourne Victory was on the other side, especially considering the number of cup sets we saw in those early rounds. It opened up for a South Melbourne Victory Australia Cup final, and it's absolutely a chance of happening. But we'll see. Adelaide might have something to say about that. Fortnite says, not sure why we let go of Ansel and Barr to get Elsie. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Ansel, Barr, Warland, Ben Warland as well. He's over at Brisbane now, Ben Warland. Yeah, was there anyone else that they let go? I think those were the three. But yeah, considering that like they've been struggling for that centre back role at the moment, Adelaide United. Not sure why they let so many centre backs go all at once. Zach says Isaias just isn't a centre back. Look at his touch map. He can't play well there. Go back to a 4-2-3-1 and push him into the 6. Yeah. It almost feels like Carvert's doing it out of like just the fact that he's got no other choice. Hey, like he just has to because they've got so many players out. But it looks like for this A-League season, it might have to be Jordan Elsey who steps in as maybe that starting centre back. I don't think they'd want to be playing Isaias there the entire season. Hey. Second half, here we go. Melbourne Victory 0, Adelaide 0. Who will make the breakthrough in the second period? Or are we destined for extra time? Appreciate you guys joining us for the live watch along here. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already to support the channel. Fortnite says, pardon me, sometimes wants to get destroyed by a rival club just to knock some sense into the ownership of the club. Yeah. I don't know. I remember a few years back when many years back now, when Mariners got whacked. What was it, 8-2 or something? Was it 8-2? 7? I can't remember. I'm glad I don't remember the scoreline. But Mariners got smashed at home to Newcastle Jets. I wouldn't want to relive that again. I can tell you that right now. I can tell you that right now. Melbourne Victory. Ooh, great play through the middle here. Machash driving forward. Machash shooting, and the block will take it wide. But that was a great little passage of play straight at the start of the second half. Zinedine Machash driving forward. Great move there from Victory. Short corner for Victory. Velupale. Arzani. Low cross. Easily blocked by Aliyechu clears. Zach asks, who do you think has the best kit this season? From what we've seen so far, I love Adelaide's kit. They're wearing it tonight. I do really like it. The all red looks very slick, and I love sort of the all white logo. If you notice the logo on Adelaide's kit tonight. So Adelaide's kit is very clean this season. I am a big fan of MacArthur's kit this season. I think MacArthur's kit's really cool. It's a really unique design. Who else? Obviously, we're seeing new kits from Sydney, Victory. Melbourne City's, I like Melbourne City's away kit. The home kit, I'm not the biggest fan of. The home kit's pretty much the same as usual, except there's like a white strip, like straight down the middle. Just looks like weird positioning. But probably, honestly, if I had to pick my favorite kit that A-League and an A-League team has released so far this season, probably Adelaide's home kit. Probably the one they're wearing tonight, honestly. Or MacArthur's home kit as well. Mariners released their kits too. They're good. They're good. They're nothing amazing in my opinion. It's a pretty similar design to what we've had for the last few years. We sort of like that horizontal strip across the middle of the shirt. Dylan Perias down the right. Early cross. Will Ford to Stefan Mork. Blocked and cleared by Rawlins. Good opportunity there for Stefan Mork, who's been lively in this game. I mean, yeah, that's true. Melbourne Victory have been running the same kit for the last 20 years. I mean, yeah, they've got an iconic design, don't they, Victory? And they've only made subtle tweaks here and there. Zach says, I think United, City away, and Central Coast Mariners away. Good shouts. Yeah. My favorite Mariners kit's probably the white one, which would be like the third kit. I think that one was probably my favorite. Fortnite says Adelaide's kit is unreal. First one I've bought in years. Yeah. If I was a Reds fan, I'd be straight onto that as well. It just looks awesome. There it is. It's close up on camera right now. Like that all white logo looks awesome. I think that makes it for me. I think if on this Adelaide kit, if the logo was just the usual sort of also the usual color scheme for the logo on the front of the shirt, it wouldn't be as cool. But I don't know, just the design looks super modern, super clean. Marcus likes Sydney and Mariners ACL kits. I do love the look of like the Mariners, the badge, their golden badge for winning the AFC Cup. That looks cool. I do like that touch. I just hope they get a sponsor for the AFC for the Asian Champions League kit, Mariners, because we saw in their first game during the week on Tuesday, they didn't have a sponsor. There was no sponsor across the middle of the shirt, which I imagine they'll get one in. It looks like it's just like a open real estate there for a sponsor to go in the middle of the shirt there. Five minutes into the second half of this Australia Cup semi-final, Melbourne Victory 0, Adelaide United 0. Mork forward for Ryan White, who's been working hard in this game, playing a forward position, forward role. So many players out for this Adelaide team. So many players missing. Whether it's through injury or international duty. Machash looking to spring things forward. Melbourne Victory just haven't had any consistent momentum in this game here. They haven't been able to maintain any pressure. When they look dangerous, it's on the counterattack. Marcus says Popovich seems destined for the for Football Australia, as in for Socceroos coach. Yeah, I think it makes the most sense. I think it'll happen. It feels like it's just the most obvious choice, but we'll see. We'll see. Velupillay shoots. Velupillay goes wide. Pretty quiet matchup to this point for Nishan Velupillay. 5 goals in 3 cup games heading into this match for Nishan Velupillay. Been a great cup run up to this point. Adelaide bench thought that ball had gone out of play just before that moment. Fortnite says, mark my words, next season, Craig Goodwin, Ben Garuccio, Mabil, Strain, all back to Adelaide. I mean, that's the dream for Reds fans, isn't it? That would be the dream for Adelaide fans. Goodwin, Garuccio, Mabil, Strain. That'd be huge. That'd be huge. I'd be surprised if all those guys returned at the same time, but that'd be huge. Victory in behind again. Felipe's cross is well cleared by Yavi Lopez. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, obviously he's probably getting a decent salary over there, Craig Goodwin, at the moment. Ooh, interesting question here from A-League Edits. Do you think Melbourne City are still a dominant force, or do you think they have fallen off in the last season? Victory's corner goes out of play. Fallen off in the last season because they don't seem in their prime. Yeah, I mean, obviously last season was a real disappointing campaign for them. They'll be hoping it was just sort of a blip, and they'll be able to bounce back this year. I'm not sure that they've gone through a bit of turnover in this offseason. They've lost some key personnel, you know, Curtis Good, Arslan, Nuno Reis, Jamie McLaren. Like there's some major outs at Melbourne City. New signings, will they, you know, be enough to lift City back into back to the top of the table? I don't think so at this stage. I think they could well and truly make finals again, Melbourne City. But yeah, as you say, the rivals are in the semi-final and in the prime. Yeah, I mean Melbourne Victory, obviously much better last season compared to City, and obviously a great cup run here for Melbourne Victory. Melbourne City really disappointing for them. Hey, knocked out in the round of 32 to Perth Glory. Zach says they have a very strong squad. It's just a mental thing. Yeah, I'm curious to see how like the new guys gel into. I mean, they've got a few new signings: Andreas Kuhn, Jonathan Cohen. Who else is new at Melbourne City? I mean, they've re-signed Marketilio on loan, which is good. Corner for Victory. Oh, spilled by Delianov. Still on the front foot here, Melbourne Victory. Teague swigs it in. Another defensive header, this time Isaias. Adelaide can break here. Here come the Reds. Striding forward, Zach Clough. What does he do? That's a smart pass to the left. It's a shot. Oh, my God. Absolutely awful from Austin Ayubi, who scored a banger against Wanderers last week. But that's just simply awful. he'll want that one again, Austin Ayubi. So much space. I'll tell you what, that's one of the worst shots I've seen from some time from a professional footballer. He had a lot of time and space, and he just shanked it. I mean, maybe he just slipped on the turf. I don't know what happened. Maybe he caught his toe on the turf. But Austin Ayubi has just sent that flying from a great position. Zach can't believe it either. That's right, Matthew. Yeah, Truan Atkinson for City 2. Great signings. Great signings. I do like those signings. Fortnite asks, when we eventually get to 14 teams, do you think they should increase the final spots, or is it more competitive the way it is? Ooh, that's an interesting question. I don't think so. I think I should leave it. I tell you what, I haven't thought about it. Like now that you mention it, like a 6-team final series with 14 teams, or like an 8-team final. You could do like an 8-team final series, similar to what we see in maybe other codes in Australia. An 8-team final series, the top 8 out of 14 teams. Tell you what, I wouldn't mind that. Like, yes, you'd get some mediocre teams qualifying for finals, like teams who finish, 7th and 8th, who maybe have like lost more games than they've won, might be able to qualify for finals. But 14 teams, an 8-team final series, I think I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Give more teams an opportunity to play a final, and obviously the finals are huge for the A-League. They're the big games. That's where we get the big crowds and the big attendances. Obviously, create more finals matches. I think that'd be great. Make it a bigger final series. Yeah, now that I think, my initial answer there to your question was nah, just leave it at 6 teams. But now I'm like, 8-team final series could be fun. Could be fun. Matthew asks, do you rate Brisbane Roar this year? No. No, like nothing against the players and Ruben Zakovic as a coach. I think Zakovic did really good at Gloria a couple of years ago, almost got them to finals. They just don't have the personnel. I mean, we'll see what their new signings do, whether they really are, settling well at Brisbane. But you compared to other teams across the league, they just don't have it. They just don't have it. Like, they don't have enough to push into to the top six. Zach says Brisbane Roar never failed to disappoint. A-League asks, which A-League player who is Australian but hasn't played for them yet do you think has the best chance of being called up to the national team? Ooh. Big question. What do you guys think? You guys got one? Zinedine Machash, great chance. Ooh. Shot into the defender. Was almost some appeals for a handball. Strong effort. And it's winded as it is. No, it's Yavi Lopez who's down. Straight into the ribs of Yavi Lopez. That's an interesting question. Marcus says Hayden Matthews. I do like that shout. Archie Goodwin, I feel like Archie Goodwin's still a few years off. Like, he just has to get some regular game time in the A-League and try and stay injury free. And the problem with Archie Goodwin is that he's always injured. He's always injured, which is a shame. Because he's in the games that he has played, he's looked really good, and he's still so young. So as long as he can stay injury free, score goals, yeah. Popovich is a great shout, actually, as well. Popovich is a great shout. Yeah, the two centre backs from Sydney could well be Socceroos players. Yes, indeed. Nestor Irankunda has been called up. He has made 4 Socceroos caps now. Featured in the most recent window for the Roos. Scored against Palestine a few months ago. I feel like Nestor Irankunda is probably a lock for the Socceroos squad for probably the next decade or so. 0-0. As we're in the 60th minute, an hour of football in Amy Park, and we are yet to have the breakthrough. Who will break the deadlock? Decent home crowd in attendance, considering that this game is still, a month out from the start of the A-League season. We are still in pre-season. But the hardcore Melbourne Victory fans are in attendance. There is a decent handful of Adelaide fans in the away bay on that far right corner. Marcus mentioning some more Socceroos players who could, potential Socceroos players for the future. Segacic, Valupale, Mohamed Toure. Would love to see Mohamed Toure called up. He was someone I talked about in some of our more recent Socceroos videos when we did a squad prediction. I mentioned his name a little bit. Nishan Valupale is a chance. Yeah, he's a guy that. Yeah, he's probably getting closer. Hey, he's probably getting closer. Zach asks, speaking of the Roos, who's your dream new coach? Well, I mean, we were sort of joking about it before, but how great would it be to see Jurgen Klopp in charge of the Socceroos? It probably won't happen at all, but it'd be fun. I feel like Tony Popovich is the obvious choice, like in terms of maybe just the easiest choice. Hervé Renard is a name that people are throwing around, and I think that would be very interesting. Very interesting. Edit says this game is missed chance after missed chance and counterattack after counterattack. Yeah. Yeah. We easily could have had a couple of goals in this game already, hey. Fortnite says, I'm telling you, Johnny Yole is a serious future Socceroos player, just needs more experience. Marcus on the Socceroos situation says, we need an Aussie coach. I would be curious to see what Tony Popovich does in charge of the Socceroos. Here comes Stefan Mork, who shoots. What is that? Stefan. He knows he can do better there, Stefan Mork. Good player, Stefan Mork. He's been very busy tonight, but that shot, the way he picked Ryan Teague's pocket there was delightful. But that strike, Well, it's again. I mean, it's just like Austin Ayubi a few moments ago, just way off target. Way off target. Good evening to Spencer in the chat. Good to see you here. Tan Lee's in the chat as well. Says, what is Papa Ball? Monty could be interesting as well. Monty could be interesting. Here's a chance for victory. Arzani. Near post shot. Well saved by Delianov. I mean, Monty would be great. I'd love to see Nick Montgomery in charge of the Socceroos. Phil says Zinedine Zidane for Socceroos. That'd be great as well. That'd be fun. The former Real Madrid manager. Zach says, "Okay, now I'm now happy I didn't drive 9 hours to watch this game." Adelaide United. Well, they should be up. I think the Reds, they're double digits when it comes to shots now, and they should be winning. I think the Reds should be winning, and they're not. I think the Reds have probably been the better team up to this point. We've got to throw them in a good position as well. Wayne Rooney. It'd be fun if Football Australia appointed, just someone different, just someone random like that. It won't happen, but it's fun to dream. Adelaide United with a decent little spell here. Had a couple of shooting opportunities that have gone wayward. Knocking the ball around well. Melbourne Victory have been pretty content just to sit back, absorb the pressure. Flick on from White, falls for Parias, who drives in field, runs into traffic. Clough on the ball, swinging it towards Ayubi. Cleared away for Victory, who can spring on the counter. And Machash, that heavy touch, loses it. Ante Juric for Matildas, most likely, says Marcus. Yep. Yeah, he's got to be the first choice, I reckon. Surely, if they can prime away from Sydney FC, which is going to be the challenge. But yeah, for Matilda's head coach, Ante Juric has got to be up there as an option, surely. It's interesting as well. Hey, it's a fascinating time for Football Australia. Currently, no head coaches for both national teams. Socceroos, Matildas, both don't have a head coach right now. Obviously, we know Thompson Marnie has been appointed as interim coach of the Matildas, which I'm happy with. I think that's a smart little interim appointment. We'll go to extra time, and if so, then we'll go to pens. Absolutely correct their edits. If this ends a draw after 90 minutes, we are going to extra time, and then a draw after then is penalties. Victory survive another corner. Tarnley says the main problem is that foreign coaches have enough time to understand the Aussie players. Oh, sorry, do foreign coaches have enough time to understand Aussie players? Yeah, it's an interesting point. Spencer says if he didn't sign for Victory, I would have said Kisnorba for the Socceroos. It's not a bad shout. I think Kisnorba is a great coach. Obviously, he didn't do all that well over in France, but that would be interesting. I only get it. Says we know the Matildas did ecstatic in the World Cup, but why do you think we have been so bad since then? I don't think we've been awful since then. In the qualifiers for the Olympics, we were fantastic. Surely that's gone out of play there for Arzani. It has. I think it was. Well, I think we made the right move. I think maybe Tony Gustafsson, his tactics just for whatever reason just weren't working anymore, and we saw that in the Olympics campaign for the Matildas. We just got completely outplayed in pretty much all those games. So for the Tillies, we just needed something fresh tactically, and the same thing could be said for the Socceroos. Just clearly wasn't working for us. Ooh, heavy challenge from Arzani. Referee's flying in. Brandishes the yellow card. Arzani, heavy challenge. Looks pretty fair. Looks like a yellow. Nikos Virgos isn't happy. Bit of push and shove going on. A yellow card for Daniel Arzani. This replay is going to be interesting. Here it is. Arzani goes up. Stretching for the ball. Zach Clough wins it. It's heavy. It's heavy. I mean, it's a yellow card and nothing more, but it's reckless from Daniel Arzani. It's a bit of a dumb swing of the legs from Daniel Arzani. Really could have injured his opposition player there, but it's a yellow card. Substitution for Adelaide United, and I like it. Yaya De Cooley's coming on for the left wing position to replace Austin Ayubi. Austin Ayubi, very good last time around for Adelaide against Western Sydney, but not his night tonight. Couple opportunities that just he completely squandered. And Yaya De Cooley, his second stint with Adelaide United after spending a brief period of time over in France. Marcus asked, could you see Ante Juric lead Senior C men's team one day? He's a fantastic coach. I mean, he's doing wonders with the women's team, so you probably wouldn't want to. Winning trophies. Zach asks, how's the final venue decided if Melbourne and Adelaide make it? Will it be at Hindmarsh or Lakeside? As far as I'm aware, I think for the Australia Cup, I think they draw it. I think they do a draw for it. It's either that or they decide it. I think Football Australia maybe decide it depending on who qualifies. So there isn't we don't know for certain if it's going to be somewhere depending on who qualifies. I think Football Australia decided actually. Yeah. I could be wrong. Someone can fact check me on that. But it is a weird one. It doesn't seem to be like it's not not a straightforward answer. Brady says that nutmeg was dirty. It's fantastic from Arzani through the legs of Clough and won the foul too. Free kick chance here for victory. Promising position of the pitch. Arzani's going to swing this one in. Plenty of players in the box here. This is a congested penalty area. Arzani straight into the hands of Delianov. The delivery was just a little bit too high. Is there high hopes for Perth this year? The answer to the question is no, but I think there is a bit of optimism for Perth Glory this year. I think considering all the change that they've gone through on and off the pitch, new owners recently, new head coach in David Zrilich, so many new players. We did a video during the week going through rating every team's A-League transfer window. Feel free to check it out afterwards if you haven't. And Perth Glory well and truly have been the busiest team in this transfer window. They have completely done a massive overhaul of the squad. And I think there's enough reason to be optimistic for this new season at Perth Glory. Some good young players at the team. Some fascinating signings. Some visa players coming to the club who haven't got played at the highest level, but look like interesting players. So I think there's a chance that Perth could be one of these dark horses this year. We've been saying that for the past few years and it never works. They might pick up the wooden spoon again. Spencer says to Perth fans, you keep Miljuznic. Fortnite says Miljuznic is a beast. Spence, man's just injury prone. Nikola Miljuznic. Another A-League club for Miljuznic. Perth Glory this season. Yeah, I don't mind Miljuznic. When he's in form, his speed is probably his best attribute, Nikola Miljuznic. So, and it looks like Perth Glory want to play with speed. They've signed a lot of fast players. They'll be a team who are really dangerous in the wide areas. That's for sure. I think. Phil Neville for the Socceroos, says Marcus. We are entering the final stages of the 90 minutes. Less than 20 minutes to go. I haven't had many changes. Adelaide just making the one swap to Cooley on for Ayubi. Victory were forced into a first half change. Brendan Hamill off. Josh Rawlins on at the back. Victory starting to look a little bit brighter now. Machash, Traore loses it. Well done, Stephen Mork, to win it back. This has been a really even game. Again, Adelaide probably controlling things up to this point. I want to look at the stats, dude. What are the stats telling us? Because I tell you what, it feels like it's well and truly trending Adelaide's way. Appreciate you guys tuning in for tonight's watch along, by the way. This is our third watch along of the week as well. It's been a big week. We were live for Mariners and Sydney's first games in the Asian Champions League, Tuesday and Thursday night, respectively. And then Saturday night, here we are. And here comes Yaya DeCooley. Oh, was that the post or the glove of Jack Duncan? DeCooley, who scored a wonder goal in the round of 32 against Blackdown City. Here it is. Another cross cleared away. Yaya DeCooley, the substitute, so close there from breaking the deadlock. Smarkus asks, who is the team to beat in the A-League men's and the A-League women's right now? In the A-League men's, I think it's Melbourne Victory. I think they've got probably the strongest squad in the league. You could probably argue Sydney FC. In the A-League women's, it's definitely Sydney FC. I mean, they've just been so dominant, especially in the last couple of years. Back-to-back champions. I mean, they're a team who just always towards the top of the ladder. So it's Sydney FC in the A-League women's for sure. I'm having a look at the stats right now. Well, according to Google, the shot stats are even. 12 shots, 5 on target for each team. There you go. 60% possession to the Reds. So Adelaide, more time on the ball. Alagic, DeCooley on the left. Here come the Reds. DeCooley swings it in. Falls for Kito. Needed to go backwards there because DeCooley was wide open, but Jack Duncan makes another good save. Tell you what, this goal's coming. This goal's coming. This goal is coming. I don't know if we're going to be heading to extra time because it just feels like someone's going to make the breakthrough at any minute now. Matt says the best A-League women's team is City. I mean, they're obviously fantastic as well. A-League men's team is Mariners. I'm worried about Mariners with our departures. I don't know if we'll be the team to beat this season. Ball swung in by Clough. Cleared away. 15 minutes to go, everyone. 15 minutes. It's crunch time now. Adelaide looking like the more likely to make a breakthrough. Melbourne Victory. Do they tweak something up front? Ren Episcopo on the bench. Jing Reese. Bruno Fornaroli. The attacking options for Victory. DeCooley again taking on the defenders. Runs out of room. And here we go. Here we go. Here's the counter-attack for Victory. Azani is away down the left. Looking for the switch. Finds Virgos. Nikos Virgos, the Greek striker, has a few to aim for. And again, he runs out of room. Defenses have been on top tonight, hey, as well. They've been winning the duels more often than not, the defenders, for both teams. Can you do a YouTube short on AFC Bournemouth? I'm not sure what you mean, Brady. Like in general? Like, has something happened with Bournemouth that I don't know about? Fortnite says, I'm worried about Delianov's inexperience if it goes down to penalties. James Delianov. Has he played in a penalty shootout before? I don't know off the top of my head. Adelaide hadn't had to go through a penalty shootout in this cup run this year. Matthew mentions that Mariners have signed Sainsbury, Ngor, Moragas, McCalmont. They're good pickups. I am optimistic about our signings. Vitor Feijão, another one as well. I am optimistic. We'll just have to wait and see. It might take a few weeks for the new players to really sort of gel into the new system. I say new. It won't necessarily be a new system, but yeah, you know what I mean. Double change for Melbourne Victory. Ren Episcopo and Jing Reese are coming on. It looks like Zinedine Machash, interestingly enough, is coming off. We didn't see Zinedine Machash brought off too many times for Melbourne Victory last season. But Patrick Isnorbo bringing the Moroccan midfielder off. Arzani's off as well. So that's interesting. Probably two of their better players tonight. So Ren Episcopo will play in that number 10 position. Jing Reese will play over on the left. Here we go. What impact can these guys have? Edit says, what happened to Max Burgess? Will he leave in the next window? Because I don't think he will start for Sydney. Yeah, it's an interesting one for Max Burgess. He won't. I'd be surprised. I don't think he'll be starting for Sydney this season. They've just got too many quality players in those sorts of positions that Max Burgess plays. Having said that, he's going to be, I think, a crucial bench player for them this season. He'll be coming off the bench. I think he came off the bench in the AFC, in the Asian Champions League 2 game this week for them. But yeah, in terms of like that number 10 position, I mean, Anas Waheem's going to be that starter. Lolly and Costa in the wide position. So I think Max Burgess will be sort of the next choice replacement for those positions. Spencer says Brisbane could do with a player like Max Burgess. Mr. Lomman in the chat. Hello to Mr. Lomman. Says, I'm an Adelaide United and Everton supporter. Give me something to smile about Adelaide, please. Because I tell you what, Everton are probably giving you much to smile about at the moment, that's for sure. Struggling at the moment in the Premier League, unfortunately, Everton. Adelaide United, well, they've showed promising signs in this game. And with just over 10 minutes to go, can they make the breakthrough? How are you guys feeling? How are we feeling at this stage in the game? Are we destined for extra time? Because I don't know if anyone's making the breakthrough at this rate. Few opportunities about 5 minutes ago for Adelaide, but struggling. Again, so good to see a bunch of you guys tuning in for tonight's live watch along. Some familiar faces, some new faces. Hit the like button to support the stream and the channel here. We've been doing plenty of live watch alongs throughout this Australia Cup tournament. And we'll have a bunch coming up throughout the A-League season, which is just under a month away. Nice pass from Zach Clough. Paris is down the right. Reds on the attack. Slowing it down a bit, though. Paris and Clough just knocking it around. They're looking for a way forward, but they're being forced back. You can see Patrick Isnorbo, Melbourne Victory head coach, on his feet, barking instructions to his players. We're in the final 10 minutes. We are in the final 10 minutes. Matthew, who will do better this year, Auckland or Wellington? Zach says Auckland. Well, I'll tell you right now, I am very excited about the New Zealand rivalry this season. I think it's great to have another derby, another rivalry in the A-League. It's a tough question. It is tough. I think I'm going to say Wellington. I think they'll be strong once again this year. They've lost some key players. You know, Finn Sermon. Who's left? Finn Sermon, Bojidar Kriev, Ben Old, Alex Paulson. Obviously, a huge departure for Wellington. A handful of other players leaving the club. And Auckland FC, they've built a good team. And I feel like they could surprise some people in their first season. They've got some really good players in their team for their first season. Steve Corica is a decent A-League coach. But I'm going to be safe and say Wellington. I think Wellington. Giancarlo Italiano obviously did fantastic in his first full season in charge of the club, and I think they'll be competitive once again. I've got a feeling, Matthew, that it could be a similar situation to sort of Sydney and Wanderers in recent years, where they could be really close to each other on the ladder. You know what I mean? Like it could be a situation where both teams are maybe like mid-table, like contesting for a final spot, which could be really fun to watch. You know. Fortnite says I've stopped watching. I feel like we play better when I'm not watching. Victory on the attack. Valupale looking for a teammate. Traore has it. Through for Jing Reese. Looking for something in the middle, but his pass goes astray. And Adelaide can clear it. And as the seconds tick by, we are in the 83rd minute. As the seconds tick by, extra time is just simply feeling more and more likely. Spencer says, not football related, but can we expect any new music soon? Would love, and would you like to make an A-League theme song? That could be fun. I've never thought of doing that. Traore. Well, was that a shot? He's completely got that all wrong. Asking as a musician to another musician. Definitely keen to make some new music. Always making music, and who knows, might release some new stuff soon. Brady, appreciate the suggestion, but we're going to focus on the A-League content and the new A-League kits. There've been a bunch of A-League teams releasing kits in the last couple of weeks now. Melbourne Victory recently revealing their new kits. Not wearing the new ones tonight, I should mention. G'day to Joshua in the chat. Joshua says Sydney's front line, the best the league has seen in years. I mean, they were looking real good on Thursday night, weren't they, Josh? I mean, Patrick Lamala, Douglas Costa, Joe Lolly, Anas Waheem. They can all stay fit if they can play like they did on Thursday in their first game all together. Yeah, I mean, there's it's a seriously threatening front line. Really, really impressed with what Sydney have done this year in their recruitment. Change here for the Reds. Jay Barnett's worked hard in midfield, and he's coming off to be replaced by experienced English midfielder Ryan Tunnicliffe. Interesting situation for Ryan Tunnicliffe at the moment. Brought in last season, and hasn't really made too much of an impact at the Reds. He hasn't really been a starting player for them. So he's been featuring off the bench in the Australia Cup this season. Carl Vert preferring some of those younger midfield options, the likes of Alagic and Barnett and Johnny Yull. Spencer says, I'm interested in Brisbane's new kit. They teased the old logo, possibly making a comeback. I saw that. Yeah, they shared it on these socials. It's yeah, that was interesting. I wonder how they're going to incorporate that. Maybe they're going to bring back the blue. A little bit. I think we've seen some of their training kits. They're got like a blue training kit with a bit of orange, which looks really cool. So who knows? They might bring back the blue. Fortnite says, I like Tunnicliffe, but he's just lazy and slow. Mork. Looking for Clough, but Traore has cut that out. There's just a bit of a lack of quality in front of goal, I think, for both teams at the moment now, too, isn't there? I mean, there's been a couple good moments. Oh, here comes Alagic. Oh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, just a moment ago, we were discussing Joshua's statement just a moment ago about Sydney's lethal attack. Adelaide United might need not only some new defenders, but some new strikers, because my goodness, Ethan Alagic, that shot looked like it probably sailed out of the stadium. The Reds have had some great chances, and the shooting accuracy has just been awful. Here they come again. Mork for Clough. We'll hold it up. I mean, how many, especially this half, Adelaide have had so many opportunities, and they're just really struggling to hit the target now. 87th minute. Mork. Passes to DeCooley. Back inside for Mock. I like that play. I like that play there, but the offside flag is up. Zach's not happy about it. Says, that is abysmal. Fortnite says, yes, typical for Adelaide. All we do is waste chances every season. They need like a... I mean, Ibasuki was a good goal scorer for them last season. I was surprised they let him go. I mean, they're missing a striker right now, and that's the thing for Adelaide. They're basically playing without a recognised striker. Stephen Moore and Ryan White up top, two midfield players, hey. And the two recognised strikers, Jovanovic and Goodwin, both away. Not involved in tonight's match. Traore, forward pass to Piscopo, who hasn't really been able to get his influence on this game yet. That's a nice switch, though, across to Velupale on the right. Nishan Velupale, nice touch, inside. Still going, Piscopo. Ooh, he's gone down. Valadon shoots. Valadon scores. Victory make the breakthrough. It's Jordi Valadon with a cracker. Wow, what a hit from the young midfielder. Wow, says Marcus. Golazo indeed, Brady. Melbourne Victory take the lead. The switch from Piscopo. The little move from Velupale. The ball fell for Valadon. And what a goal. What a finish from Jordi Valadon. The way he struck that so sweetly. Past the outstretched hand of James Delianov. And young midfielder Jordi Valadon set for a huge season at Victory this year. Wow. Has he just won it for Melbourne Victory? It's his first goal of this Australia Cup. Melbourne Victory are minutes away from the final. Adelaide have to throw everything forward now. 89th minute. Wow. Incredible. Incredible. Adelaide, what do they got? What do they got here? How much injury time will we have? I'm going to say maybe 5. Maybe 5. Got a couple injury stoppages, haven't we? Spencer asks, do you think Craig Goodwin will ever return to Adelaide? Or would he be more likely to play for Newcastle again? I could definitely see him going back to Adelaide. Fortnite here says that he's got a $3 million house in Adelaide, apparently. Okay. Fortnite says, this is ridiculous. I really hope this knocks some sense into Carl and the board. 4 minutes added on. Just 4 minutes for Adelaide United here. It's been a real grind for Melbourne Victory, but they finally made the breakthrough. But Adelaide United, too many missed opportunities for them. Piscopo. Nice footwork. Goes backwards. And look at the... Oh, that's a terrible challenge. It's a disgusting challenge from Ryan Tunnicliffe. This could well be a red. It's a yellow, but that is awful. That is an awful, awful challenge. No VAR in this competition. I'm sorry, but that is a revolting challenge from Ryan Tunnicliffe. Do not want to see that on a football pitch. It's reckless. It's dangerous. It's inconsiderate. And I tell you what, if this was an A-League game, I think Ryan Tunnicliffe would be off the pitch. Wow, right in front of the fourth official too. That is a revolting challenge. 3 minutes to go. Desperate times for Adelaide, but we do not want to see that on the football field. Almost snapping the ankles of Adama Traore. So the seconds tick by. Ooh, Virgos goes down. A hit to the head. Yavi Lopez is going to pick up a yellow card. So it's another booking for a Reds player. Adelaide United. Fortnite says it's going to be a very long season for us, unfortunately. Another yellow. Another yellow. Nikos Virgos. Well, the physios are coming on. The doctor's coming on just to check on him. Brady says, I don't think you get top 6 this season. I'm sorry. In regards to Adelaide United. I don't think they have enough either. I don't know if they'll be able to crack the top 6 this year. They did slip out last year. And you look at the team, I don't know if they have enough. That's right, Spencer. That's right. No more Irankunda time for Adelaide United. Seconds are ticking by here. This is favouring Melbourne Victory. Virgos is saying that there was an elbow involved from Yavi Lopez. I don't think Yavi Lopez is having a bar of it. But Melbourne Victory are so close now to returning to the Australia Cup final. They won the competition 3 years ago. Well done by Jingrig, just winning the throw-in the corner there. Troy says they definitely haven't played badly early days. Look, it hasn't been awful. It hasn't been awful from Adelaide United. They've had plenty of possession. They had chances. They just lack that quality in front of goal. They really have. And Melbourne Victory, well, they took their chance. Geordie Valadon with a cracking goal. Not long left in it now. Here's Virgos. Nikos Virgos getting muscled off it by the defenders. Adelaide got to go. The Reds have to go here. Here comes DeCooley. Great clearance from Guerrier. 15 seconds. I mean, we'll probably have a bit more added on because of that stoppage for that Virgos injury. He is all good, Nikos Virgos. But it's going the wrong way for the Reds. Well, that could be another yellow. I mean, Tunnicliffe has just bundled Piscopo over. I mean, that should be a second yellow easily. I mean, Ryan Tunnicliffe has been on the field for a matter of minutes, and well, he shouldn't be on it anymore. I mean, that's a clear yellow card in any other game, right? Piscopo is just breaking away in opposition territory, and Tunnicliffe just bundles him over from the behind. Jing Reese takes it to the corner. Adelaide United missed opportunities tonight, and it's Melbourne Victory who qualify for the final of the Australia Cup for 2024. Wow. Wow, what a result. What a performance in the end. Melbourne Victory digging deep. Maybe not their best performance tonight, but they get the results and they maintain the clean sheet. Adelaide United will be ruining those missed opportunities. Wow. It was a good game indeed, Brady. It was a great game. I mean, both teams with some great opportunities throughout the match. Just both teams missing their shooting boots, that's for sure. Geordie Valadon finally making the breakthrough. It was the 89th minute. Fantastic strike from outside the box to win it. 88th minute, in fact. And Adelaide United, the Cup specialists, are out. Melbourne Victory, they won the tournament just a few years ago. They won the Australia Cup 2021, 2024. Can Patrick Kisnorbo kick off his reign in charge of Melbourne Victory with a trophy here? I mean, it would be a great way to endear yourself to Melbourne Victory fans, the former Melbourne City man. Alligator says, as a Sydney fan, I feel bad for Adelaide. Dude, I tell you what, we have to look at the stats. We have to look at the stats because Adelaide United, so many chances in that game. Austin Ayubi had a fantastic moment in front of goal that he completely missed. Ethan Allegich had a strike that sailed wide. So many opportunities. I mean, they didn't play badly tonight. They did not play badly tonight, Adelaide United. I think Victory just, in the end, just had the quality in front of goal. They found the back of the net. Great strike from Geordie Valadon. Fantastic goal. There's a substitute who made a difference too. I mean, Piscopo, great setup. He got the assist in the end, didn't he, with that little backheel flick for Valadon. Wow. Marcus says West Sydney Wanderers are not going to get finals. Big take, big take. Let's have a look at these stats, man. Let's have a look at the stats from this game because it's quite interesting when we look at it because it sort of sums up the story a little bit. Adelaide United, these stats come from Google, 15 shots, just 5 on target. 14 shots for Victory, 6 on target for them. You can see Adelaide had more possession, and I think it was a half time or in the first half. Adelaide were up like 64% possession as well, so they had plenty of the ball. Their passing accuracy was pretty good for the Reds as well. They had the chances, 6 corners for Adelaide as well. Like the stats overall were pretty even, but definitely favoured the Reds. Wow, man. I mean, they missed having a striker. Like, let's look at the lineups as well, because for Adelaide here, they just didn't have a striker. I mean, Ryan White, young star. I mean, huge opportunity for him tonight, but he is naturally a midfield player. He is a midfield player. And Stephen Walk was involved in attack, but again, he's a midfielder. So they just lacked having that striker as well. It's interesting. I mean, we've been talking for many weeks about the defensive area of the pitch for Adelaide and how they needed to sign some reinforcements in that area. But now the striker position is worrying. Obviously, you know, Luka Ivanovic is away on international duty. Archie Goodwin's out with injury. But they're going to need these two guys to have big seasons in the A-League this year, because it's tricky seeing where the goals are going to come from. Like, you've got good, hard-working midfield players there. You know, Alagic, Barnett, Mork, Clough. But they're going to need more. I mean, the signing of Ben Falami is a big one. But they're going to need more this season. That's for sure. Adelaide United crash out of the Australia Cup semi-finals. And it's Melbourne Victory, who've been so consistent so far, so impressive in the Cup. They have now scored 13 goals and conceded only one, right? They've only conceded one. And that was way back in the round of 32 against Lambton Jaffers. They've only conceded 1 goal in this Australia Cup run, and they are through to the final to potentially face South Melbourne, which would be a crazy game. Would be a fantastic matchup, but it could well be against Macarthur SC as well. Blinker says LC is a decent pickup for them. Yep, important signing. And he might have to be a starting centre back for them this season. I think Jordan Elsey back at Adelaide this year. That's for sure. Brady's asking, are we on to the Sydney derby? We'll probably be doing a live watch log for that one. Round one. Just less than 4 weeks. Exactly 4 weeks from today. Sydney derby round 1 is 4 weeks from today. We're very exciting that we've got that Sydney derby coming up, round 1. Highly anticipated match. Obviously, a potential A-League debut for both Douglas Costa and Juan Mata. Stay subscribed here to Coastal Football for more live watch-longs coming up over the next few weeks. We're definitely going to be live for the Australia Cup final. That is for sure coming up in a few weeks' time as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Hit the like button on the way out. We've got a new video coming out tomorrow, so make sure to keep an eye out on that one. Have a great rest of the weekend, guys. I appreciate you tuning in as always. My name's Lockie. This is Coast Watch Football. We'll see you in the next one.